Hey, welcome. You are on the Heart of Success show, and I'm your host, Larissa Vakulina. I go live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time zone. And I'm so happy to have you here with me. Today, I'm going to share you an interesting topic. But before that, I really would like to tell you that this show is all about success. Not that success that we all used to perceive as a attainment of wealth and success in our business life or professional success. We separated our personal lives and our relationships and our hobbies or creativity and wellness and health from that success perception. All areas of our lives can be successful. So I'm sharing you method, techniques, tools, how you too can become successful in all areas of your life. So before I start my topic, I would like to acknowledge all the victims that are been as a result of shooting in Colorado. I cannot believe that we are developed so much in our technological advances and how we growing in all areas of our science and medicine and all of these areas, but there's still some people that are choosing that method of expressing their anger and their disbalance by the way of shooting. So, and I think my topic today is really going to be a little bit about that. So we have this big problem in our society in terms of that mental health and mental problems. But I believe that because of our society one-sidedness in terms of how we look at our education, how we, create all of the systems and structures and telling people and basically displaying how the society is run, it is one-sidedness. It is all focusing on the intelligence, the mental and logic development. So we all behind on our development in terms of the emotional states, about our spiritual development, about psychological states. So I think all of these areas needs to be picked up and basically being focused at the same level as we focusing on developing our mental abilities. So today's topic is about awareness. And what is awareness? Awareness is acknowledgement and uncovering blind reflexes. It is about uncovering limited beliefs within yourself. It is about facing destructive pattern behaviors and actions. When the longer we deny that we have some problems within ourselves, the more we're suffering. I was myself in such a situation when I was running my business. I really didn't connect what I was having as a result of my inner beliefs or my negative, perceptions or some kind of distorted, reactive behaviors and actions. I didn't really link this that is within me to the result that I had. And I had relationships problems and I had some other problems, but I didn't have that link within myself in terms of that connecting, that it is one interrelated flow of creation of my reality. So once I recognized that everything that I'm holding within myself and everything that I don't have understanding of and everything that is in my unconscious level is really directly affecting my result in my reality in my life. So once I connected and make that link that, wow, everything that is in me that I am holding as a destructive or demanding or codependence and things like that. All of these unbalanced emotions been directly affecting my reality. So once I make that connection that it is what is really one flow, then I had the chance to start to look at all of these areas and deepen my awareness. So deepening the awareness means becoming conscious of error, of deviation from the truth. So I started to really look at my own distorted behaviors, and then I could make that link that what become reality in form of some conflict or of some distorted result of what I wanted to create in my life. I made that link, and I start to really deepening my awareness of that I'm creating it. It's no one to blame for some limitations that I'm creating in my life. So I still observe a lot of people are keeping reluctant to giving up appearance of being more righteous, correct, more clever, better, or more intelligent. So this is really the hardest step towards developing your self-awareness. Once we start to really have that link, the first very hard step is achieved. Well, then it is a matter and a task of our positive ego. It's like we need to start to focus towards that, that willingness and that decision to look at all of these distorted parts of ourselves and face them. So I believe that there is a three simple steps of how we can really start to improve that or start the process of developing and deepening our self-awareness. So the first step is basically it sounds funny that because we are so in such a dynamics that we constantly doing, we are achieving, we are performing. But the first step towards developing your awareness and developing your feelings towards what is in you is the revolutionary act of becoming silent or quiet. So I'm inviting you to dedicate about 10 minutes of your life for that quiet time. When you have your quiet time, that's where you start to feel what is really going on within yourself. That's where you start to feel what is on your unconscious level. So there is also this unconscious dynamics going on that in one hand, we really perceive ourselves as the most important person in the universe. On another hand, we have this current within ourselves that is like, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. So imagine these two currents that are actually neutralizing itself, how this conflict within can actually create something that is whole or harmonious. It cannot. So we need to start to really look at all of these dynamics and start to notice and face all of these inner dynamics that we're going through. And when we look at them and recognize them and accept them as not negative or bad, but as a just state of being, that's where I'm at. And that's, I just need to accept myself. And I'm a human being and I am just going through this learning and developing. And at this stage, I am at that moment here not being able to understand all of this, not being able to know all of this, not being able to possibly love myself or love the other person. And I'm not punishing myself or not suppressing this discovering that I have within myself, back then and now, each moment. I am just recognizing it, and I am accepting this as a state at that moment. It is always better to recognize yourself at any moment, even if that moment is that I'm hating right now. I cannot love myself or situation or somebody. I cannot really love. So if you recognize that state within yourself, it is much more honest and it is much more healthy to do that in the moment rather than covering yourself with all of these masks that we all really great at to create in our lives and saying, oh, no, I'm okay. So the first step is become still, to really tap into this inner recesses of yourself and start to listen. The second point is to become really, really honest with yourself and also create that objective observer. I just come to these comments and Vicky here, and thank you, Vicky, for watching and telling me know that you're here. I'm really glad to have you with me. So the third step towards deepening our awareness is to recognize and accept yourself and create that objective observer. That's the observer that is not attached to anything. This is the part of ourselves that actually can recognize that we are, we are observing, and we aware, and we actually the awareness. So it's like you get above yourself and you see yourself in any situation, and you start to really truly see where you're at. And I know it is quite hard. I mean, when I was having no link between my inner beliefs and distorted patterns and my result, I didn't have any awareness of that this all dynamics played together. So I just was not able to catch myself before I would go into that defensive reaction or behave automatically. Hi, Amber, nice to see you. There's someone as a Facebook user. Well, thank you and welcome. I'm really glad you're here. So yes, and it's like, but with that, with activating this willingness and desire to really know what is within yourself, you start to reprogram yourself. You start to really first catch yourself only after you defend yourself or demand or had some conflict, and you recognize and say, I've done it again. But the more you do it, the better you and quicker you reprogram yourself, and you will start to catch yourself before you actually start to blur it all out, and you will hold it within yourself, and you will know what is this happening within you. Do you hold angriness, or do you hold some frustration or things like that? But you would be able to control that within yourself. So this is the awareness piece that we all can start to look at. And I think that this can help individually and collectively for us to have that balance between what we are now experiencing as a constant growth and development of our mental abilities, of our logical thinking. We kind of not looking at other abilities and these geniuses and this system that we given by nature. So this is really is the process. Let me go into the comments and start to connect with you guys. Thank you for being here. Amber, it's really late here, but tonight I thought I'd try and make it live. Yeah, thank you, Amber. Thank you. So Vicky is saying, yes, the objective observer, we become awareness. Yes, yes, it is all empowering. Once we make that connection, that our results is really connected to what is going on within ourselves. Well, then we really start to wanting to get deeper into these places and start to understand. So yeah, me too. Some of this has to be caught, not just taught. Absolutely. So we're in the beginning of this process. We cannot catch ourselves before we go into our automatic reaction. But the more we will catch ourselves first after the event, the more we will reprogram ourselves, and then we will catch it during that event, and we will start to change it in the spot. And then later we will be reprogramming ourselves that well before we will feel this wave of that kind of sense of unfairness, or wherever that part of ourselves are still struggling, we would catch it right before, and then we can really then choose in the moment how we're going to go about it. Are we going to let our automatic reaction to play again in our life, knowing that it is not really serving us? We know already, because most of people start to be really very honest with themselves only after some crisis or some suffering. So, well, this is really need to start to change. And I mean, all of this shooting and all of this aggressiveness and violence that we are experiencing right now, I believe that needs to be addressed on the level of awareness. So Vicky, thank you. The more you catch yourself, the more transformation take hold. Absolutely true. And it is an organic process. It's not like it is like overnight. Okay, I made decision to catch myself. You're not gonna to. This is really organic process of really in a minute, every minute of your life, like that second, what is going on within myself, where I'm at. How do I feel? What it is with me, and what part of these currents that are activated, and where do I look at it, and how do I make it not reaction but response? So that is something that I'm actually actively working on, connecting with that objective observer. Well, thank you so much. I don't see your name. It says as a Facebook user, but thank you. Thank you. It is absolutely true. And keep doing it. It is gonna to pay a big, a price for you. You're gonna to start to really deepen your awareness, and you deepen your awareness. When we deepen our own awareness, then we start to really be aware of others. So that's how it works. It is organic process, and it is all interconnected. So Vicky is saying, that's right. Pain makes us very honest. Somehow, if we could do that in awareness, absolutely. So, and the pain is forcing us, because it seems like we sometimes feel like we are in the corner, and that corner where we at is like there's no way to go back, and we afraid to go through because we don't know what is there. We have this unknowing. Well, how I do it in my life, I will share with you my personal, very intimate way of doing it when I actually was in a very, very deep crisis with bankruptcy of the business, and with my illness crisis, and all this, relationship problems and things like that. I felt like I'm in a corner, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, and I accept these things that I don't know. Once you accept that you don't know, straight away there's some part of you is like, well, for me it was like, go on your knees. go on your knees. You cannot do it yourself. So I kind of prayed, and I prayed and prayed and prayed. And there's little opening happening within myself. It's like, oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. And I know that I cannot do it by myself. I need to invite this higher intelligence, or the higher imperative that is exists, and we don't know, and we don't have connection with it. So if I made that little opening and invite that higher imperative, that higher wisdom, that higher self, then everything changes. So everything changes. And then what I experienced in my life, I would go on my knees and I would ask for help, and the help will come in whatever form it is, and there's a relief of the situation. And then I go alone again, and I would go alone and until the next crisis, or until the next conflict. And then I was like, oh, you go back into that corner on your knees. And I've done it many, many times until I realized that maybe I'll just stay on my knees all the time. So that was my way of connecting with me. I mean, in the beginning, I was doing it physically. I would go on my knees. Now, of course, I'm doing it symbolically. And that is my connection. Guys, you're just doing so much talking with me, and I keep talking, so I just need to just catch up. That's right, pain makes that. We already done that. So when you say silence, do you mean metaphoric silence, such as sit still and achieve a calm state of mind, or do you mean literally not to talk or communicate for a while? Well, basically, what I mean is like it's a practice. It's like anything that we practicing, like we building our body muscles, and learning and reading, we building our mental muscles. But to build our emotional, psychological, spiritual, and build awareness, you need to have a practice. Just dedicate about 10 minutes of your day for being silent. It is a meditative state. And observe how your thoughts are flowing around, but don't pay attention to it. By doing it regularly, you also are opening up your system for much, much wider and bigger possibilities. Then you will start to feel yourself a bit more. So, what else here? Yes, the Facebook user. Yes, no reaction, but response. Beautiful. Thank you. How to not make it reaction and make it response? Well, again, it's a process. It is become aware that when we are functioning on the automatic, almost like an autopilot, like we used to do things certain way. We used to tell certain things. We used to react a certain way. For example, if there is a very challenging relationship, we all have that defensive mechanism. Like some people are withdrawing, completely saying, oh no, I don't want to be there, and if I just withdraw myself, everything will be fine. So another people are more aggressive in the relationship, and other people are become very quiet, and all of these are reactions. So basically, it's that linkage that we make within ourselves, that what is within me, how I feel, and what I vibrate with, and how I feel these distortions and a little pains and in harmony affect our reality. Well, then we need to start to deepen this within ourselves. Well, another way I would like to say to you is that there is sorry. Yes, that's right. That takes face. Yes, it's like how we can just not only saying that this is life and that's how it is, how we can actually see how could that be. not what it is or not what you think it is. How could it be? How could that reality be different for me? So that's the phase. So stay on my knees all the time. I kneel with you. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. So it was helping me. So I guess we all have our own way to connect to our higher self and higher imperative. So at that moment of my life when I had all crisis. I had crisis of my business. I had personal crisis in relationship. I had crisis in my illness. I had location crisis. I had possession crisis. Like it was all one big crisis. So for me, that was just that was solution for me to really get myself back and collect these fragmented pieces of fear and doubts and anger and all of these things that have been scattered at that moment. So I needed to collect them. So another thing I want to really share with you is that there is a 4 stages of I would say conscious stages of evolution of human beings, and there's 4 of them: automatism, like automatic reaction and automatic, living, functioning. Second one is awareness. That's what I believe we all individually and collectively stepping into that stage of development where we start to realize that not only the knowledge, intellectual knowledge, but also the awareness of ourselves and others and environment is really needed at this moment. The third stage is understanding. Once we build and deepen our awareness to the deepest level of ourselves, to the level where we touch the truth of who we are, then we most likely gonna to then move into this understanding level. And then the fourth one is knowing. So this is like the knowing is there. We don't need anymore to have any of the, forcefully put on us knowledge and learning and things. We would have the other capacities and abilities in ourselves. So I want to share with you this personal experience. And I really personally myself tend to think that children are having this stage of their consciousness in the knowing. Because maybe not all of them, but I'm talking right now about my personal experience. My little granddaughter, when she was about 4 or 4.5, she is just such a bubble of the joy, and she always would come to me and she would say, "Babushka, I know everything. If you need to know anything, ask me." It's like, the 4.5-year-old. And of course, I would ask her questions and she is answering. The other day, we just went to near the lake and I was just doing some work, some breaking leaves or whatever. And she was just playing around. And then she comes to me and she said, "Babushka, I'm a little tired. Let's go back home. I would like to play." And I said, "Ma, I just had a little bit left to do. What if you just go and listen the trees? Like, what the trees are about? Have you ever listened the trees?" She said, "Oh, no, I never did that." So she would go to the big tree, hug it, and put her ear in the trunk, and she would just stay there and listen. And then she would run to me and say, "Oh, Babushka, you know what? This tree is really is having a lot of ants." Ants are tickling the tree, and it's really kind of it's laughing and it's a little joyful. So I was like, "Oh, that's great to know." And then she went to another tree and she started to hug that tree, and she said, "Babushka, that tree is actually not happy because there's a branches been fallen and someone cut the branches, and it's like it's not really happy." And I was looking at her stunned, because just about a couple of weeks before that, the person that helping me here at my property was cutting some branches of that tree. right? It's like, wow, you know, we really not often having paying attention to these things. And then she ran to another one, and then she hugged that tree, and she stayed there for long. And then she comes to me and she said, well, this tree, babushka, is saying that it is suffocating. It doesn't like the smell of smoke. And I was completely shocked, because just about 5 days or 3 days before that, we had a bushfire not far away from my property. So for me, it was like, this is completely open channel, that children don't have any barriers to the intuitive feeling. So that was really interesting to observe. And so I really think that because of the you know, the system, the education, the society standards that we are living, we kind of losing this very direct connection in our children. And now she is 9, and I can see already how she starts to lose this you know, direct connection. She's still really aware and know, but I can see it is not the same. So I'd like to go back and talk to you, because when I'm in zone, I just would like to get it all, you know. Amber, collecting all the pieces so you can make a whole again. Thank you. Yes. And I'm still doing it when I'm a little out of balance. So there's someone saying, when it rains, it pours. I imagine how unshakable, unbreakable, unstoppable you are now. Thank you for sharing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It is an honor to have you here and be with me, and just, you know, just listen my sharing. I hope that can motivate and inspire you, and you can inspire others. Phil, thank you. You here? Yeah, I did know you come. You said you will, and you know, you wasn't sure that you come in, but thank you, Phil. Yes, we are consciousness, not a state of consciousness. Yes, we are consciousness, and we have this access, we have this opening that can help us to be accessing all of the wisdom, all of the knowledge, all of the experiences that we all individually and collectively go through. And children have that. So we're losing it with our system slowly. And then we need to undo it again and reprogram ourselves back into this connection. So she's running at work. Yeah, Phil is saying she's running at work. Thank you, Phil. I hope you know, you're okay and everything is really working fine for you. I wish you all the best at work and in your personal life. Just that happiness and success. So yes, the trees. I know that was really a very interesting experience for me, and I was just kind of stopping with myself and just thinking, wow, really, when we allow ourselves to be grounded and to really have all of our all of our I would say the system ability, because it's not only the brain, it's not only the heart, it's not only the the groundness of who we are, but it is the whole big anatomy. It's like a receiver of the waves and frequencies and vibrations. And if we drop our mind, we can just be a receiver, and we can receive all sorts of information about environment, about other people, about ourselves first. Of course, if we don't know ourselves and don't deepen our awareness, we cannot be aware of others and our environment. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you all here with me and you supporting me. But how awesome that you are there to help her remember those gifts. Yes, yes, absolutely. I try my best to be with my grandchildren and support their presence and ability to be who they are really, just a consciousness. Um, yeah, you got that right. It is the core essence and all of it. Thank you so much, Vicky. I just would like to repeat. Hello, MJ. I'm happy you're here. I'm almost winding up now, but I would like to just to repeat that to deepen our awareness, we have these 3-4 steps that we need to implement in our life. The first one is really create silence and quietness, 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, wherever time you have, just to be with yourself. And it doesn't matter if you have all of these thoughts going through your mind, you just observe, become an objective observer. That's the first step. And then the second one is become very honest with yourself. Like, just be honest. Even sometimes we are not in our best at that moment. We are not in our best, beautiful, or harmonious, or really, great way. Sometimes we are angry. Sometimes we're not accepting. Sometimes we're judging. Sometimes we're not loving. So if we accept that and be honest with ourselves in that moment, we really we increase the energy flow. We're not suppressing what it is in us and saying, oh no, I don't have that. So we acknowledging that, and we recognizing that, and we accepting that, and that way we can change. And the third one is basically catch yourself. It's like train yourself, catching before you get your reaction or distorted, destructive patterns and behaviors and things. If you can't catch before, catch yourself after, or catch yourself within. But the more you do it, the better you will, and the quicker you will create self-awareness. And then eventually it will become your way of operating and functioning. So just to support you in that, I have created a free offering for you. I have created the so-called gearing your mind to a new approach. It's a free gift that I created for you, and I will be able to share with you in a few days' time. So if you're interested, then I will let you know on my next show where you can get that. And I'm really, really happy that you've been here with me, and you've been supporting me, and commenting with me here. And I really, yes, Vicky, create silence, become an objective observer, become honest with yourself, catch yourself in your reaction. Absolutely, absolutely. This is the steps that are, if we implement and slowly start to practice, gonna to make such a big difference in your life, in your relationships, in your businesses, in your creation. Well, right now on this moment, I would like to say thank you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next week on Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time. Love you all. Bye.